Hello there, my Sagittarius friends. This is a reading for Sagittarius for the beginning of the year, January 2017. Um, Now, this is the first reading that I've done for you, so welcome, and I hope you come back and you get a lot out of these readings. If you haven't already done so, please check out my introductory video. I explain a little bit about my philosophy about the tarot, what you're getting out of this, or how you can use this as a personal development tool, and that sort of thing. But for now, let's just get right into it. So what I'm seeing for you today, my Sagittarius friends, is your current situation. It's the Queen of Coins. Um, this indicates a very motherly energy. So this is nurturing, um, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the house, that sort of thing. Very, very nurturing energy. Um, you've been a very kind steward. You've been taking care of things. What's crossing you is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands sort of indicates there's a point in your life where you're moving toward some new form of happiness, some new dimension. You're trying to break free from some constraint that had you feeling down, and as you get really, really close, things pop up, obstacles pop up, almost like trolls in a bridge, just little challenges that are there, and they're there to teach you a lesson and to spice up this journey a little bit, to make you sort of step back and reflect and realize that it's not just about getting there all the time. Like, you have to remember to enjoy the process and things like that. So these obstacles will pop up, and sometimes they can seem quite daunting. They can seem like they're on the verge of making the whole works fall apart, but just stick in there because there's a way through. They're supposed to look that way, It's kind of like, if you're planning on skipping town, don't notify all the people that you owe money to beforehand. Don't announce it if you owe a lot of money, because they're going to come knocking. Everybody who thinks that they can get something out of you is not going to put that relationship on the back burner. They're going to bring it right up to the front and try to get everything that they possibly can. You're going to see people needing money all of a sudden, and things like that, when you've been diligent, like you've earned what you've got here. What I see in your thoughts, in your crowning thoughts, or what's in your conscious mind, is the Emperor, which means that through this process that you're going through, you have the helm. You're being given the control, the direction. The leadership is yours, and it's very important for you to exercise it to your full extent right now. That's your role right now as the leader. So keep that in mind. Keep a level head. Use that wisdom that you've had for so long. It's really good, because in your current situation you have a balance of this motherly, feminine sort of energy, and this directive energy in your mind, this executive masculine type of energy. So you've got a balance of that going here, and what I see in your foundation is this sense of sort of accomplishment. So whatever your situation you're going through is, you feel as though you virtually, you've got through the hard part, so this is like saving up for the trip to go rafting, and the rapids themselves are the obstacles that you go through, but that's sort of a downhill journey at that point. Once you get through certain barriers, you feel this sense of accomplishment, as if you've already won, even though you're still on the journey and you still have to navigate and use your executive power. It's actually more important now for you to focus on being the leader, being the navigator through this process. I can see that in the past you've come through a really sort of unfortunate transition, something that had to happen. It was just for the best, you know. It was something that it inflicted some degree of pain on you, but it was for everyone's benefit in the long-term situation. So you've really sort of got down to the grindstone and done the unpleasant things that needed to be done to get you through the situation. And bravo, that's a really tough way to go. So in your future, what I'm seeing here is the magician. And the magician is a figure who is able to balance all of the elements successfully, and through that process channel raw energy from God, from the universe, into the physical reality. And so what I think this is saying essentially is that coming through these challenges that are coming up for you, the curves and the corners that you've got to navigate, there will be help. You've been faithful, and because of that, your will has manifested for you in this. I mean, you've been thinking about whatever you're going through for a while, you know, and because of that, along the way, you've sent out little requests, little silent prayers that you didn't even really know you made for assistance, and those are going to be there when you need them as you're navigating through this process, this rough process that you can't even prepare for it, because you've never been through something quite like this before, you know. So you're going to have to just be really vigilant, but you're going to have help. You're going to find things conspire in your favor, even though it looks like things are piling up against you and all your creditors are coming looking for you. There's going to be ways out. There's going to be escape ropes, and it's not going to feel really difficult at all. It's going to feel as though you got plucked into the middle of like an action movie, and everything was just sort of like spelled out in directions on the floor for where you need to stand at what point, you know, and you just follow it, and it makes it look so easy, and all around you is like these props crashing and exploding and everything, you know, but you're just sort of walking through at your leisure. And that's the impression, that's sort of the bubble that you're going to be in. Because of how much diligence that you've had, and how much thought you've devoted to this idea. So good job. It's really cool when people do those kind of things. For your advice for the current situation, we have the Two of Swords, which again means, so the Two of Swords is this figure who's like blindfolded. She kind of reminds me of like the Jedi, you know, like she's blindfolded and she's got these swords, and she's trying to prepare, or not prepare, but she's trying to let go. Because what happens is, if you put your energy into sort of preparing for attack from one direction, then if it comes from another direction, you have to withdraw your energy from that way and then put it back the other way. And that hesitation gives your enemy a chance to attack you, you know. And so they say, if you're going to try to escape, if you're going to try to get out of this situation that the devil has had you in, you know, you shouldn't give him advance notice. That's how this is going to feel. This is going to feel as though you need to make these decisions intuitively. The process needs to happen organically as the situations arise, you know. So don't freak out too much. Be prepared. Watch. Don't think you know how things are going to go. Don't hold expectations. Just watch how things are going. You've set things, you've put enough energy into planning that you don't have to be like micro-planning the situation as you go through it. You just need to make executive decisions and be prepared for things to come your way and for you to handle them. I'm seeing in your current environment the Two of Cups, which is an incredibly balanced relationship. So you've got somebody going through this with you who you can trust to put the love and attention into the details. Just be the sort of editor, you know, be the oversight, the supervisor, but also allow that other party to input creative control through this situation to steer you a little bit. Because this is a very, very balanced relationship. And because I see all of this executive decision making and all this, I see like a really good balance of this person being the one who comes to you with, here are your options, and then you make the decision on which option that you want to pick. I view that as a very productive way for you to get through all these decisions that are coming up. Um, you know, that's how I feel, is that you're going to be the one who needs to ultimately make the call. So you need to relinquish some control as to what the options are, you know. And that's just part of balance. You know, I know you feel as though you've done a lot of the nurturing here of this idea. You feel as though you've invested maybe a lot into it. But keep in mind that that other person there has invested a lot more than just like work, you know, a lot more than just money and time and things like that. She's invested her heart. She's invested, you know, and I'm saying she, it could be a he, it could be anybody. But just your partner in this situation is essentially what we're getting at here. And your partner in the situation has had a very big impact for you, so you need to appreciate their perspective, definitely. Now, for your fears card, we have the Seven of Swords, and this is sort of interesting. This is the attitude that you're sort of like getting away with something, you know. In the fears position and in the context of this reading, I feel like what this represents is that you're going to go through this process where it's going to feel as though like things are popping up at the worst period, you know, like at the worst time. Like you're about to make a big purchase that you've been saving up for, and then all of a sudden some little thing pops up at the last minute that requires you to put more money into it, or something like that. And these challenges are going to feel like they're popping up all the time. And I think that the way that you're going to avoid that is by blocking people out, is by playing close to the chest. You and this person have like such a balanced relationship. Any outside input is really just going to throw it off. So I know you want to express that you love people by giving them the opportunity for input and that kind of thing. But in this case, it's best to just sort of stick to your guns, to play things close to the chest. And the reason for that is because when you tell somebody about your plans, you're essentially giving the devil more chances to you know, get you, to make you fail. It's best, the best kind of decision that can be made is the decision that is made instantaneously, because without hesitation, you can't be subverted. Your will can't be, you know, prevented in that way. And your overall message is the Ace of Wands, which is a great card, great overall message. It means that you're essentially in a place right now where you've got this creative ability, this spark, this idea, this venture, and enjoy it, you know, ride it. Use this because you've devoted a lot of energy into this. And so really focus on not just the completion of the task, but enjoying that, you know, I have a feeling like this is going to be a long journey, you know, and don't, you know, it's over. So take a breath, take a sigh, take a breath, because it's already over. And now you can start the process of enjoying it. And this is going to be a thing where you can either look like dredge through it and act, you know, drag your feet, or you can approach it really optimistically, as if this is all opportunities for you to play games. You know what I mean? So do that. Look at it optimistically. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you're still making the executive decisions. You're still taking your role very seriously. So you don't have to feel guilty about enjoying it too, you know? So I think that's your overall message here, is that it's going to be important for you to sort of take enjoyment, because if you don't take it, you'll never have it. um, but overall, good reading, interesting reading. Um, I get a very clear message from it, very specific, so I like that. Um, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and I'll try to help you out. Until next time, I'll see you in February, my uh, Sagittarius friends. Thank you. Bye-bye.